When is lying better than being honest? When the patient with dementia asks you, again, where their deceased spouse/child/other very important person in their life is. Telling the truth only makes them relive the horror and despair of finding out that that person has passed away all over again.
Dementia runs in my family and I am terrified of this.
Mine too. My grandfather had it and could never figure out where my grandmother, who had died 25 years before, was. For all of the hard times, seeing him light up every time I came to visit was worth it. He didn't know me for who I was any longer. He thought I was his sister. And I was fine with that. I let him call me Ruby and he told me all sorts of childhood stories. He taught me to dance the Lindy Hop so I could
meet a nice fellow and settle down someday.
But it isn't all fond memories and good things. Because he asked about Gran all the time. Once in a while I'd lie and say she was away visiting her sisters or something and that she asked me to bring him his favorite supper. And he'd perk up a bit. Other times I'd say she was at the salon. I was 17 and it was so hard. But I don't regret the time we had. I do regret that I couldn't tell him my name though. Because I'm named after my late grandmother. He'd have never understood. So being his sister Ruby was just fine. EDT, thanks for the gold. And thanks for all the kind words. My inbox runneth over.
When a child asks you if you like their singing. Although, after 12 it's time to be honest.
I'm sorry honey, you sound like a botched up pig butchering. Also, you're bad at singing. And you have a face for a radio.
Wait, what are we talking about again?
Your father was the one who wanted to adopt you. I wanted a parrot.
Once when I was about 7 to 8, I was told my singing was really annoying. I used to sing all the time. Now I don't. Even if I'm alone I won't sing.
I hate when people don't consider what they say. I was told on several occasions growing up that I looked ridiculous when I danced, and honestly it's ruined dancing for me.
I was mocked for how I laughed, so I wished I wouldn't laugh like that again. I got crippling depression and didn't laugh for almost 10 years. Be careful what you wish for.
I fully support lying to kids. Whenever they make a shitty art project, tell them it's great. Sing terribly along to a song, tell them it was great. I want my kids to be confident. There is enough people in the world who are going to tell them they suck. They need to know that there are people who will think they and what they do is awesome.
When you accidentally blow up a military fighter jet, because you were leaning on the engine and knocked it down, but blame it on a battery explosion started by an electrical fire.
That sounds oddly specific. How much did you make at your last job?
Inflate it by 5%.
Getting a new job is the best way to get a significant salary increase. 5% is way undercutting yourself. Start at 20% higher and let them negotiate down. Also, in some areas it's now illegal for a hiring manager to ask what your previous or current salary is and instead are supposed to tell you their budget for the position. When somebody shows you a picture of their child, asking,
"Isn't he or she cute?"
and they really aren't.
He's quite breathtaking.
He looks interesting.
Quite the specimen.
Congratulations on the successful Area 51 raid.
No, you say this. All babies are so adorable. You are saying a general statement. Be ambiguous.
Say, wow, he or she looks just like you.
Your clones are impressive. You must be very proud.
He or she is very, human.
He or she certainly takes after your looks.
Officer,
do you know why I pulled you over?
Me who did 60 and a 30, but I can say I didn't see a sign. No.
How fast were you going?
the only answer you should give is the word speed limit. I was going the speed limit. No digits.
I got you going at X mile per hour.
Are you sure that thing is accurate?
Damn right, plead the fifth. You have the right to not be a witness to yourself. And this ain't lying.
I don't know, I've been pulled over twice in my life, once 9 over, once 15 over, and admitted to speeding right off the bat and acted ashamed. Warning both times. I strongly feel if I tried to pretend ignorant they would have just given me a ticket. It could go either way.
That works only with cool cops. My method works best for dick cops and being pulled over for trivial reasons. If you get a blowjob and the person that gave it to you asks if it's the best you've ever had, the answer is always yes.
Unless it's your wife or long-term significant other. Don't you want it to be better? Just be tactful when explaining what could be better.
It was absolutely fantastic, but to make a conclusive statement, I'm going to need to collect more data.
If you are a college student that left their home to attend school elsewhere but still has to come back home for the summer to work, finding a summer job can be difficult for many due to most employers not wanting to employ someone knowing in advance that they are going to have to fill the same vacancy in 3 months. Just lie about your school/living situation, get that bread, and leave them. That's what I did at Walmart.
But isn't that unethical? Surely these companies operate in good faith with their workers, and you owe them the I can't.
You almost made it through, with a straight face.
If we find out that you would leave the company with no warning, we would fire you on the spot.
Agreed. Look out for numero uno, and those in your life who matter. Publicly traded corporate employers are only there to be used and dumped as soon as they have served their purpose.
Sad but true. My current company would let me go in a heartbeat if they thought it would save them $150 a month. My advice to all new hires that are young and hungry is to give it your all, but not at the expense of your family, friends or health. It's just a job and it shouldn't be your life and identity.
When someone you know is going to ask you to watch their children calls you up and asks if you have any plans that evening.
Knee deep in plans, it turns out. Don't have a spare second to even breathe.
Telling someone in the ambulance that they're going to live.
I have a friend who is an ambo. He tells patients he's never had someone die in his ambulance. Which is technically true. Because they refuse to declare someone dead in the truck, because otherwise they have to drive to the morgue and fill out a bunch of paperwork. Instead, they continue to administer CPR until they get to the hospital and let the on-duty doctor declare the time of death. That way the body is the hospital's problem and not theirs.
When your boss asks you if you did the thing he asked last week and you say, "Of course boss, totally did it already, let me just update the data pretty fast and I have it in like 15 minutes. Then you do thing as if your job depended on that. Then 30 minutes pass and he asks where if the thing is ready and you say ignore him, and then he goes to your desk and you say, "Sorry, I just came out from the bathroom. Taco Tuesday, am I right?" But he ignores that and asks you where the thing is and you send him the incomplete thing, so when he asks why is not complete you reply with, "What? Don't tell me it wasn't saved. Oh man, I worked like 5 hours on that thing."
Haha, the grown-up version of sending your teacher a corrupted Word file to buy a little extra time on your term paper. We see right through that, if anyone was wondering. Because we were students once too.
I pulled the corrupted Word file in high school one time and got a 0 on the paper.
When a murder shouts out,
Where are you?
No, don't lie. But don't say the truth. His heart will be moved.
so will mine.
That got dark.
I'm way over there. I left 10 minutes ago.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Are you sure? You don't look well.
I'm just tired, haha. Cries internally.
I'm feeling called out here.
You're probably tired from the internal crying. Source, experience.
Your mom asking.
What are you doing?
When you are beating your meat. Don't say 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 beating your meat.
Beating your meat?
When you're trying to protect yourself. Wife.
Does this make me look fat?
You. No babe, it's perfect. Crisis averted. Wife.
Does this make me look fat?
Me. No. That cheesecake you eat makes you look fat.
Me, no. Your weight makes you look fat. When you hug grandma, and tell her that her dinner was delicious.
Cannot relate. My grandma actually makes delicious dinners. Dinners worth going all the way to Germany for. Fuck. Now I really want some Kassler.
It's better to lie to people sometimes, although I hate to do it. I knew my gym teacher's husband was cheating on her and I never said anything to her. I still feel guilty.
When the Nazis ask if you're hiding a Jewish family in your attic.
When someone gets a bad haircut. If it looks bad, you say, "You got a haircut." In a positive voice.
I believe in letting children believe in magic. So, if I'm having a conversation about unicorns, I let them tell me what they know about them, and speak about them as if they are real. Kids grow up quickly, I don't see the point in not letting them see the wonder in the world, even if that wonder isn't real.
Wife.
Do you think she's prettier than me?
Always tell her she is beautiful. Especially if she is not. Both my 50-plus-year-old uncle and my 60-plus-year-old female friend tell me that it's better to lie to a spouse about being unfaithful than to come forward with it. They say that if you're really sorry, then just use that to become a better spouse and be more caring about what you have, rather than to subject the person whom you love and betrayed to the intense hurt that will surely follow. So, that was interesting for my 25-year-old self to hear. Not what I expected, but I guess that's possibly an instance. Apparently when you're a politician. When your child asks about Santa. Unless you can't afford all the gifts.
Here's my story. My, now, wife bought an engagement ring off the internet. She read 18K gold, so that's what she thought she got. Well, turns out it was 18-karat gold plated over lead. How did I find out? Stones kept falling out, and when the jeweler cleaned it, it basically became nothing. I knew she'd never forgive herself if she found out. So I paid for the mold to be made of the exact ring with real gold and stones. I will take that to my grave.
When you're still living with your parents, but you're leaving to go have sexy time. Hey guys, going to chill with Jake, might spend the night. Don't wait up. Am I going to tell my saint of a mother I'm going to have premarital sex? Never, ever. When the porn website is asking if you're over 18.
When your conservative parents ask if you are straight, but you aren't.
Never. My brother, join me in my prayer. When posting on Reddit. It makes you sound more interesting. It is wrong to lie, but it is worse to let the wicked triumph, because you adhere to the truth at the expense of good sense. Prelate Annalena Aldaran, Blood of the Fold. Sometimes there's information that people are better off not knowing until later. It's unpleasant, but beneficial in the long run. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and ring the notification bell.